evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris is back with some more technical difficulties. I mean Hearthstone. So after drafting that deck, I was playing against a priest, and all of a sudden the game froze, and it was like not ending his turn. It was one of those bugs, so I closed Hearthstone for a little bit. I minimized it just to see if it would fix itself. Then I checked Facebook, came back, and all of a sudden I was facing like an army of gigantic creatures and I was at 2 health and my opponent finished me off with Holy Nova. So I don't know exactly what happened. I think the game froze on my end because my streaming software also died. So anyway, that was a loss to technical difficulties. Woo! Good start to the draft. Anyway, I've posted the video of the drafting part. I didn't post the game though because, you know, it just sort of stops and dies. That was kind of pointless. So anyway, we're going to go ahead then and see if we can crawl our way back from this deficit. This will be a nice way to find out if starting with a loss pits you against easier opponents or not. We're up against the Shaman. Pies the Shaman, or perhaps they're like from Finland and it's peas. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what we get. So, going to be mulliganing this back. Good card. Good card. Just don't need you guys quite yet. Come on back a little bit later. There we go. That's nice. Okay, so the Bluegill Warrior will be nice as long as my opponent doesn't flip the 1/1 totem. There's really no reason to coin it out. We'll just hold the fort here. If my opponent does play a totem that this can kill, I'll kill it. It's nice to stop shamans from getting a totem collection up and running because they can, first of all, do nasty things to you, like heal their creatures or buff up their spells. But second of all, when the inevitable bloodlust comes, you want there to be as little on the board as possible. I lost some games, without spoiling the whole arena, I lost some games from my Shaman arena, mainly because I had a couple of situations where I didn't have anything on the board, but I did have like 2 bloodlusts in my hand. Okay, anyway, let's think about this carefully. So what I could do is I could coin out, swipe, and kill this. So I'd be using swipe just to kill 1 card. It's a bit sad, but it's doable. Keep my creature on the board. Another option would be Claw plus Shapeshift. Kill this thing. The problem then is the little piglet will indeed kill my Bluegill Warrior. That'll be card advantage for my opponent, because this is all 1 card, and this and Claw are 2 cards. I could just say, forget you, and play an Imp Master, and get behind and try to catch up, so then try to use the Cult Master to gain back cards. I could also actually coin out the Cult Master, and that's a bad plan. We're not going to do that. Well, let's go ahead and play a little bit stodgily here. I'm going to just swipe that. So I would say he got really good value out of that Razorfen Hunter, a card I'm generally not a big fan of. It was good on the board. I didn't quite have the right answer to it, didn't quite have the right creature. If this had been a 2 toughness creature, it would have been a different story. But my opponent got me to spend a swipe and a Premier Removal spell, so I'd say he's doing pretty good. Now of course I wish I had the coin, so that I could use Stampeding Kodo. But as it is, we're going to just content ourselves to kill the totem, play Claw, and kill this Crocolisk. This is Druid control. We're going to go the distance with the Bluegill Warrior. Strategy is you play 1 Bluegill Warrior, and then the 29 removal spells beat your opponent down. Alright, let's see how well this is going to go. Hopefully my stream will not cut off this time. Fairy Dragon. Well, I'll be happy to trade my Bluegill into that, provided this is not a taunt totem. It is not a taunt totem. Alright. Well, let's think about this. So there's a couple ways I could do this turn here. One is I could play Cult Master, trade, draw a card. This does leave a spell damage totem up, which is a bit scary because spell damage means Earth Shock and Frost Shock will actually kill my Cult Master. Option number 2, I could just play the Stampeding Kodo, kill the totem. Not the greatest use of the Kodo, but it is a use. And then trade this in. I have a 3/5 on the board. My opponent's got Jack, Squat, as well as Diddley. Another option, I could play the Imp Master, trade, leave the spell damage totem, but then I can also play a Pint-Sized Summoner. Then I'll have a Pint-Sized Summoner, Imp Master, and an Imp at the end of the turn. That seems actually like a pretty good move. I'd like to get the Imp Master down before the Cult Master goes down. That would be nice to have more stuff to throw away. So I've got 3 things I could throw away for cards, potentially. If my opponent plays a Lightning Storm here, he'll be overloaded next turn for 2 mana, and this actually will survive. Aha, Sen'jin. Perfect, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and perhaps run our stuff into this Sen'jin. I don't know, though. It's tricky, because I can only deal 4 damage. This changes things. Haha! Yeah, we're going to go ahead and play the Cult Master. Oh yeah, that's right, it's cheaper because of the Pint-Sized Summoner. Oh god, that's pretty good. This Wolf Rider was a pretty good draw here, so we're going to do this. And we're going to think. I could actually just sacrifice the Imp Master. It'll live, but then when it pops the Imp at the end of the turn, it'll die, drawing me another card. So I could do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. keep this thing around. Or I could just keep the Imp Master around and then just use the Wolf Rider and the Pint-Sized Summoner saying, good job, guys, you did your job. Do I need the Pint-Sized Summoner? Not really, not with this stuff. Alright, we're going to just trade stuff in. So we're going to trade the Wolf Rider in first. Draw a card. Mark of the Wild. Ah, if only I had the mana for it, that'd be great. Pint-Sized Summoner. Draw a card. And obviously the more valuable of these totems is the spell damage one. So we're going to pass the turn right there. Alright, we got quite a collection here. Again, Lightning Storm would be the boss hoss for my opponent here. He does not appear to have it, but he does have this, which is very good because it stops my creatures from suiciding and giving me cards with the Cult Master. Well, he's got a lot of taunt here. Oh, he's going to let my things suicide. Well, alright then, sir. Alright then. Alright then. Rock Biter. No! Ah, he's going to kill my Cult Master. Well, I suppose the fun had to end sometime. Okay, okay. Moonfire. Well, it's not quite as good without the Shaman. So I could swipe, kill the Shield Bearer, do 1 damage to everything else, and then Moonfire. Well, I could Moonfire the Raid Leader then. Wait, another option I could actually, this is weird, I could swipe the Raid Leader, do 1 damage to everything else. Everything doesn't hurt anymore. This will be at 1 health, this will be at 3. Can't quite actually kill this turn. Unfortunately, unless I use Mark of the Wild. Is that a move? Is that a move I should make? Let's see, if I swipe this guy, let me try that. Let me run that by one more time. So if I swipe this, then this will be at 1 health. I'll lose an Imp to it, or I'll lose a point of damage on the Imp Master to killing it, but then I'll be able to just... Yeah, I think we'll do this. We'll just swipe this thing. Let's actually go ahead and... let's put Mark of the Wild. I don't want to Moonfire just yet. That seems kind of pointless. Mark of the Wild. I could have used Hero Ability to finish this off too, I suppose, but we're going to do this. An Imp. And an Imp. Yeah, maybe instead of Mark of the Wild I could have used Hero Ability, but I wanted to put Mark of the Wild on this so that it could make some extra Imps for me. Oh man, that Rock Biter weapon was so sad, killing my Cult Master. Spell damage? Not the worst thing right now. Pretty much anything would have died anyway. Earthshock, so it's going to take 2 damage and get silenced. Well, the silence is kind of a problem, although it does mean it actually is going to live now, which is funny. Alright, what does my opponent have here for his mana? Dark Iron Dwarf, buffing on his turn, bit of a desperation move. Starfall, not really what I need. Actually, the Kodo is perfect right here, because... Yeah, the Kodo is just perfect. It'll kill his buffed totem up. And now, I'll leave the Dark Iron Dwarf alone. We'll just deal some damage. So you could kill this silenced Imp Master if he wishes. But then we have Starfire for the Dwarf. Or we could finish it off with the Kodo and Starfire his current play. And call it a day. Direwolf Alpha. Oh, he's going to kill my Kodo, the bastard. Oh, jeez. He's actually going to get to kill 2 things. Well, that was a pretty good use of Windspeaker there, I have to admit. He's going to hit the Kodo and hit me. Interesting choice. Alright. Well, I think this is a good target to Moonfire. I don't really want to get hit for damage there. Do I use Starfire on this guy? Yeah, we'll use Starfire on this. I should have done that first, because you always want to draw cards first. Iron Beak Owl, not really relevant. We're going to play a Worgen down here. And let's kill off this wolf. Then we're going to do this when the thing doesn't have pain on it anymore, and we're going to pass the turn. Alright, well I've got card advantage here, 5 versus 3, one of which is a totem. Granted, one of mine is a demon, so it's okay. Earth Elemental is a pretty good card. Damn. That is a pretty good card. There is no question about the goodness of that card. Luckily for me, I think the Sunwalker holds up pretty well against it. Yeah, it holds up pretty well, so we're gonna play the Sunwalker for sure. Do I Starfall here? Maybe, or next turn, I mean? Maybe. It would be tempting, but I think this was more important than playing Starfall. Let's actually go ahead and, man, I need to think about who to silence. If I silence the... Yeah, I need to silence that. So we're going to silence that. We're going to trigger Wind Fury on that. Let's go ahead and kill this Pyromancer to stop my Divine Shield from getting popped, in the event that my opponent were to draw a spell of some sort. And I'm actually going to get a bit aggressive. I'm gonna hit my opponent here. I mean, he is down quite a ways. I have Starfall, the tragically nerfed Starfall, which is no longer allowed to deal damage to the opponent directly. My opponent would sure love to kill this Worgen, but Sunwalker, man, this could have been a Ravenholt Assassin. I don't know, it would have been a very different game. It'd be sitting here ready to pounce in. I'd be trying to race my opponent out. I suppose this is probably an okay way for things to go down. I could Panda something, which would be interesting. Let's see, if this doesn't quite work. If I Starfall, it just kills a bunch of totems. Can I win? Hold on, can I win? What have I got here? 8, 10, 14. Is there any way that I can squeeze extra damage out of here? Oh, my hero ability. Okay. Well, kids, you know what Papa Boris says. Always look for the win. My opponent, very canny here, peas the shaman. He did not say well played. I guess he's not intending to say it at all, because maybe I was going to miss it. Alright, well, that was a nice comeback. My opponent's deck, I think, was actually pretty solid. My deck just performed well, so that's good. Taking a sip of good luck water. Cultmaster drew me a couple of really clutch cards there. I'm very fortunate that I had that Cultmaster. And the Imp-Master Cultmaster combo went off. It was good. Does my game crash? No. You can always check to see if your game is frozen by hovering over the cancel button. And if it doesn't flippity flop, you know it's bugged out. Up against another Shaman, World Devourer. Man, people are watching Papa Boris's channel. They're going, Cultmaster or Shaman's pretty good. Pretty good shizatsicles. Okay, these are all such good cards, and I have so few 2-drops. I'm not going to pass back a good card just to maybe get a 2-drop. We'll let the deck take care of itself, and worst case scenario, I can coin this out on turn 2 and play this on turn 3 if need be. If my opponent has an Earth Shock, it silences and deals a damage. That'll kill the Scarlet Crusader pretty good. This is actually a shockingly good card against my current situation, because I don't really want to run this into it. I don't really want this Divine Shield to get popped by it either. That was just a really good card for my opponent. See, these 1-drops, they may be crappy, or they may look crappy, but they have their uses. They really have their uses. Okay. Well, I wonder why he thinks that was a mistake. I think it's important here. I could, of course, hero ability and start to work this guy down, but that seems silly. We're going to just go ahead and coin out a Scarlet Crusader, pray that my opponent doesn't have an Earth Shock. That would be a tragedy. I've never gotten to Earth Shock an enemy Scarlet Crusader, but I have had it happen to me, I think, at least twice. So anyway, hopefully I'll be able to pop Divine Shield, kill this guy, and then play the Wolf Rider. This is actually extremely unfortunate, because if it were a regular totem, I could have Wolf Rode and killed it, but instead what I have to do is hero ability to stop the Searing Totem from killing my Scarlet Crusader. So my opponent had a 1 in 3 chance to flip a really good totem, and he did. That happens. You can complain, but you gotta take it in stride. Anyway, this is a hand chock full of good cards, so not that I'm gonna win the game or anything, but this is a very, very, very strong hand of cards. So my opponent will need a pretty good hand himself. Alright, Rockbiter Weapon. Not as good as Dark Iron Dwarf would have been here. Dark Iron Dwarf would have put a 4/4 body on the board. Instead, all he gets is a totem. Another Searing Totem, so no Wolf Rider for me. Dark Iron Dwarf doesn't really work here. This is give a minion, so that's cool if you want to buff your opponent's minion so that it'll die to a Shadow or Death or to a Big Game Hunter, but when your opponent has minions on the board and you don't, you actually can't really play the Dark Iron Dwarf. Unlike the Shattered Sun Cleric, which is give a friendly minion +1/+1, that's different. Man, my opponent has some kind of hella slow deck here. What is going on with this deck? He's not even going to let me Dark Iron Dwarf my frog. God damn it. Well, we're going to do the Wolf Rider finally. Kill this Taunt Totem. My opponent's played... I'm actually kind of embarrassed. Given that my opponent's played nothing but totems, I'm doing awfully bad. I guess he did have a Hex and a Rockbiter Weapon and the Goldshire Footman, so I guess he has been playing some cards. I just feel like I should be more ahead with, this Dark Iron Dwarf and all the stuff I have. Anyway, we've got really good cards. Our late game has arrived. And a swipe for removal. Things are looking pretty good. Okay, another totem, another day. No spell damage is totally fine. Okay, so what we're going to do here is take a look real carefully. Yeah, we're going to play the Sunwalker. Reason being, I don't want this Golem to run into the Wolf. The Golem trades very profitably against the Wolf, so I want to protect my Wolf a little bit. looks like it might have been like a Earth Shock or something. Where is he pointing at my stuff? Fire Elemental. Ah, good card there, the Fire Elemental. Very, very, very good card. Well, now I regret that I didn't play the Azure Drake last turn, because Swipe would actually kill this and that with spell damage. Unfortunately, a 4 attack doesn't quite get the job done, so we have to think very carefully how to do this. One option, of course, is to play the Dark Iron Dwarf, pump this up, use it to kill the Fire Elemental. The issue then there is that the Sunwalker will die to this Golem, which sucks. Well, no, I have hero ability. Ah! Oh my god, I swear to god, I'm like forgetting that I'm a Druid or something. Jesus Christ. Dark Iron Dwarf is really freaking great. I cannot get over how great the Dark Iron Dwarf is. Man, I wish I were up against a priest with all these 4-power creatures here. It's actually kind of difficult for a shaman to deal with this. Spell power plus Forked Lightning would leave this at 1 health. Yeah, he'd need Lightning Storm would only have a 50-50 chance of killing this, and that's if he gets spell damage. Ancestral Spirit, wow. Well, that's a pretty good combo, I guess. Well, what I'd like to do, I think, is just ignore this thing. It's a bit sad that this guy's gonna bite the dust. I can play Raging Worgen. The problem is what I'd like to do with the Raging Worgen is attack this and trigger Wind Fury. However, by the time that my turn comes around, this guy will already be a 5/3. Whereupon Swipe will kill it, as will a Wolf Rider. Maybe I'll just go for the maximum power on the board with the Boulder Fist Ogre and ignore it. Alright, we're going to do this. We're going to try to fill up the board. We're going to do this, draw a card. Always draw cards first. Claw. I could actually kill this thing. I could, Claw hero ability for 3 damage. I think that's actually good. I think I was going to play the Raging Worgen or the Acolyte of Pain, but I think getting rid of that thing is fine. So even though it comes back as a 2/7, which isn't very good against me in the current state of things. And if he does charge himself up against one of my creatures, Swipe will finish it off. Swipe plus spell damage is amazingly good. Oh my god, what is up with these wind speakers today? Ugh. Well, that was a pretty good move. And the Taunt Totem is a pretty good one too. Oh, Jesus. Oh no, he's gonna get rid of my spell damage! Oh, this went bad in a hurry. Man, I shouldn't have killed it that first time. I should have just let it live and played more stuff. And now I really regret that I don't have more stuff on the board. What the fuck is going on here? Totemic Might. I guess it's not the... Oh no! My opponent's not a good player! You have to kill the... You have to kill one of these creatures. You can't just let him live. That's no good. Alright, well, let's take a look at what to do here. This stuff is rather comically all at 3 health, so the Swipe is majestic but not that great. I could Swipe the Totem. These all go down to 1 health. Hero ability. Finish off the Cobra. And then just trade the Dwarf in for the Gurubashi, kill that guy, try to keep things under control. That seems fine. We're going to do that. Well, hang on. I could kill the Totem. Ah, hang on a minute. I could just kill the Totem. Swipe, let's say, this guy. And then hero ability, that thing. Finish this off. I have 3 mana left with which to play Wolf Rider. Do I even need to swipe then? I do need to swipe. I really do need to swipe here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try this out. We're going to swipe that. Or, sorry, hit that normally. Swipe that. Hero ability. Do that. Do you want to take this down to... I want to keep that guy healthy, so we're actually going to kill the Wind Speaker with the Wolf Rider. As emotionally unappealing as that feels, I think that's the right move. So anyway, we've got some pretty massive card advantage if you look. 3 versus 7. So my opponent's going to need some pretty epic cards here to come back from this hole. Well, that's a pretty big card, but 6/6 is not that great for 7 mana. He of course flips a Taunt Totem, obviously. God damn it. Of all the things, it had to be a taunt. See? Person who was commenting that I never get any Taunt Totems flipped against me, it happens. Alright, we're going to do this. And what I'm going to do is Mark of the Wild here. But I bet he's going to want to make the trade, so I'm just going to go ahead and ignore him. And then we're going to play a Boulder Fist Ogre. Hero ability. Put some damage on. Call it a day. Well, I'm just threatening to win here with my giant stuff. Again, these need to be 3 really epic cards. I mean, there are things that my opponent could have that will get him back, but it's going to be hard. Bluegill Warrior does not quite kill the Dark Iron Dwarf. Bloodlust, that'll let him do it. All right, so there you see there was like the really weak Bloodlust. Look, second Taunt Totem in a row. Who's complaining that Boris never has any Taunt Totem slipped against him, eh? Now his fucking Stormwind Champion gets to live. I should have killed it when I had the chance. God damn it. Alright, Moonfire doesn't quite kill this. Moonfire plus Hero ability would kill this if the Taunt Totem weren't there. I guess we'll do that then. I have plenty of health. I could have like won this game. Well, I could have almost won this game if the Taunt Totem hadn't been flipped. Anyway, let's just go ahead and put this on and this. Just trying to finish this up here. I don't even know what 2 cards Shaman could have that would get him back. Lightning Storm is not going to deal enough damage to kill my stuff. I believe that it is the end for World Devourer here. 3rd Taunt Totem in Hero. Alright. Doesn't help him, though. Okay, I think I'm going to just do the rest of the draft in this video. Partly because I'm playing a Druid and I don't anticipate it going that far. Yay, 40 gold! And partly because I already had one video for the draft, so I apologize that it, sort of cut out. But we also saved time because there was one game that didn't get shown. Because my internet crashed or something weird happened with Hearthstone. And, yeah, so it's not going to be super long, I hope. And if it is super long, well, I apologize. But I'll do my best to lose and keep it short. We're up to 2-1. Let's see who is our next worthy opponent. Taking a sip of good luck water. Rodgarth the Mage. Okay, well, These Wolf Riders are a bit awkward against mages, but I'm going to keep it around on the gamble that there will be stuff for me to run into and kill. This could very easily go bad. If my opponent plays like nothing, Senjin Shieldmaster, I'm just going to be boned like the dickens. But as long as she has any kind of 2-drop or anything, I'll be happy to trade these in, and then hold the fort until my late game can come around. I just didn't want to mulligan these and, like, draw, like, Azure Drake, Boulderfist Ogre, Sunwalker, and then just have, like, nothing to do. Stampede Kodo could be good, could be terrible. We'll see. Depends on what my opponent plays. I'm first, so no coin for me to rush this out or anything. Nothing on turn 1, I'm happy about that. I'm going to do this. Cult Master, not the greatest card at the moment, unfortunately. I'm not going to get anything onto the board anytime soon. I'd love to see a Nymph Master, that would be kind of great, actually. Alright, so is my opponent going to play a 2-drop? Mirror Image. Oh my god. That's actually really good, because if I throw a Wolf Rider down to kill these, to kill one of them, the hero ability will finish off the Wolf Rider. Ah, fuck. God, mages and their hero ability. Well, the Pint-Sized Summoner would have been useful like a few turns ago. Now it's probably just going to bite a Frostbolt, but I have to put it on. I can't do nothing. Stampede Kodo could kill one of these off and hopefully hold up against the other, but if my opponent plays like Coin, Senjin, Shieldmaster or something here, I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. Ah, my opponent has the Imp Master, which I wish I had. I might have to swipe that. I don't know, man. Stampeding Kodo is playable. This is also potentially good. Now, if I play this, I have 2 mana left over. That's not really good enough to do anything. All right, we're gonna take our chances. We're gonna roll the dice with the Stampeding Kodo. This is more just to put it onto the board than anything else. All right, it kills the Mirror Image, which was probably the worst thing it could have killed. The best, obviously, being the Imp Master. Second best being that. The reason I don't want this hanging around is now this plus Imp Master will kill my Pint Size, or even this plus Hero ability if my opponent has nothing better to do with 4 mana. Now, the nice thing is, though, that Swipe will wipe up the board and free it from my opponent's demons, or imps, or whatever they are. Mine for Grizzly. Okay. My opponent's going to get to work on my Kodo here. Actually, that's a really smart move. It was going to die to a swipe anyway, so well played. Okay. Well, I cannot play Wolf Rider and swipe. I don't want to run this into the bear, though, because then it'll get finished off by the hero ability. If I swipe the bear, this will die. This will go down to 2 health. I could finish it off then, but I have nothing else to do with my turn. I could use my Wolf Rider to achieve mostly the same thing and keep my Premier removal spell. So let's just trade it in for the Wolf, kill the Imp Master off, hero ability, finish off the demon. Yeah, that was way better than playing swipe. So I used up all my mana, I cleared things off, left us at a high health total. I think that was about the best way I could think of to do things. Alright, so next turn we're either dropping this thing, or we're going to do this for removal. We're 2 turns away from Flame Strike. My opponent has used the coin, so this stuff is all kind of on borrowed time. But this lives through Flame Strike, and so does this. So those are going to be my important creatures. My opponent's pointing something at me. She's wondering, is this worth spending a Fireball on? The answer is maybe. Whoa. Fireball to the face? Oh, God, that is... Well, that's one of 2 things. I'm going to give my opponent the benefit of the doubt. That is one of 2 things. Thing number 1, my opponent's bad at the game. Thing number 2, my opponent is holding on to like 2 Pyroblasts and a Fireball or something and just wants to burn me out. Luckily for me, I do gain health with my hero ability, so if I see continued burnination on my face, I will respect that and start using it every turn. That'll buy me perhaps a turn against my opponent's burn. Looks like my opponent might just have made a mistake. I don't know. I'm going to swing here, and I'm actually going to play the Fen Creeper. It doesn't hit as hard as the Tiger does, but the taunt could be nice, and it's very sturdy. My opponent's used a Fireball and a Polymorph. That was such a waste. I think that was just a bad play. Recall what my opponent did. She fireballed... it's too late. She fireballed me in the face, then she used a Polymorph on my 3/3 Stampeding Kodo. Well, why not just, have fireballed the Kodo, then you still have a Polymorph to deal with my Boulder Fist Ogre. Yeah, I think that was just a misplay of my opponent. I don't think there's anything else to it. Okay, well, here we have a little bit of an issue in that this might be Vaporized or it might be Mirror Entity. So what we're going to do is the following. We're going to play a Wolf Rider, see if it's Mirror Entity. It's not. Then we're going to run the Wolf Rider in, see if it's Vaporized. It is! Haha! Pro plays by Papa Boris. You saw him here first, folks. Then we're going to just actually ignore his stuff. Excuse me, her stuff. We're going to play this Tiger. We're going to use Moonfire to kill off the owl. Or actually, the concession went in before the Moonfire could get off. Man, this Tiger... Remember, there was an arena a long time ago where I was playing Warlock. And I got up to 9 wins, and the card I named MVP was my Stranglethorn Tiger. And it was really, really good recently, too. I forget who I was playing as. But it was really, really good. God, who was I playing as? I think it was a class I don't like very much, maybe? Or maybe it was a mage. Yeah, I was playing as mage, and I didn't have any creatures. I had, like, very, very few creatures, so the Tiger was, like, so awesome. And there it was really good, too. Lawman 30. I don't know, it's a paradoxical name for a hunter. The hunters are above the law. Okay, well, Moonfire is an obvious keeper. Boulder Fist Ogre and the Azure Drake are a bit slow, but the Starfall here, that I'm going to keep, because that is some pretty good board clearance. I mulligan an Azure Drake. Maybe I should have kept it. If you play Azure Drake, draw a card, Moonfire deals 2 damage. It's like a backstab. Maybe I should have kept it around instead of the Starfall. But I like this for security, and I didn't want to keep 2 5-drops in a Moonfire. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. First order of business will be to see if the pint size is worth coining out or not. It's worth it. Well, no, hang on a minute. Is it worth it? Huh. It's really not worth it. What am I going to play on turn 2? Nothing. We're just going to go ahead and do this. We're going to Moonfire this Hawk. So I could have obviously used the coin and hero ability. So that way I basically keep the Moonfire, use the coin. Instead, I chose to use the Moonfire, keep the coin. I feel like the coin is potentially going to be more valuable. And I'm wrong. Fuck, I'm wrong. Here, the Moonfire plus hero ability would have finished this off. Shit. Well, anyway, I think I'm just going to play Pint-Size Summoner and let them trade. That seems alright. It is a bit sad. If the Pint-Size Summoner were to live, I could have coined out a Tiger on my next turn, which would have been sweet. But then again, I wouldn't have been able to kill that. So my opponent had the 2-drop, and that's fine. Alright, I just don't give a shit about this thing. It can go suck a dog. Stampeding Kodo is going to kill that next turn, potentially. So let's just hit my opponent in the face. He'll hit me in the face. And, well, my main hope is that my opponent doesn't play anything with power 2 or less, because if he does, Stampeding Kodo might whiff on this Demolisher. But then again, this Demolisher sucks, so maybe my... Oh yeah, Jesus, I would totally rather kill this than the Demolisher. Are you kidding me? The best thing this Demolisher is doing for my opponent is making it so that maybe the Kodo will not kill his Oasis Snapjaw. Alright, we score a lucky hit there. Demolisher continues to pound on me. God, that card is so bad. I just... You know what, though? A couple of turns ago, I could have shapeshifted and hit this Demolisher. Instead, I chose to hit my opponent in the face. That was a mistake. Because now, my Kodo could have finished this off. Oh, okay. No, never mind. Alright, well, my opponent is just playing lots of cards. Not hitting me very hard here. I think... Man, 2 of these? God, I don't know. This is the problem with Hunters. You just end up taking these bad cards. So, see, I could hit this for 3. Swipe would finish it off. This would die. This would go down to 3 health. That seems pretty solid. I mean, what's better? Playing a Tiger, maybe? Play a Tiger. My opponent could pump this up and hit me really hard or something, I guess. Alright, we'll do the swipe. We'll just get some value here while we can. My opponent is getting to be in a bit of serious trouble here, just card-wise. So, he's got 4 cards on the screen to my 6. That's, I'd say, putting me in pretty good standing here. This Kodo has really gone the distance. It killed a Snapjaw, it killed a 4-drop, and then it, you know, dealt some more damage, killed some more stuff. This thing is really good. I'd really like to kill it if I can. And that's a pretty timely drop. We're going to do this. We're going to play the Cult Master. And we're going to kill that thing and draw a card. Now, the Demolisher could kill the Cult Master, but I drew a card, so it's fine. Right, my opponent gets a lucky hit there. Well, not lucky, but wins the coin flip there with the Demolisher. This thing has lived for quite a while. I don't care, guys. I hate this card. This card is just so bad. I can't even put to words how much I loathe playing with it. Alright, so we're going to drop a Tiger here, I think. Tracking. That was definitely a mistake. My opponent should have done that first. Certainly before steady shotting and also before playing the Yeti. Okay. Swipe a dipe. Not really worth it here. We're just going to make a beast. This owns the Yeti, unless of course the Demolisher hits it. And then they'll trade. Looks like I'm going to take the Demolisher damage. Oh my god, am I really going to have to lose to a Demolisher? Well, we'll see. If my opponent doesn't play a taunt, maybe I'll just kill the Demolisher. We'll see. Emperor Cobra? Frostwolf... Oh, jeez. That's pretty large. I might just get beat down here. Oh, man, that's a really big drop. I don't actually have an answer to it right now. I have all my chumpiness here. Mad Bomber, this is not exactly what's going to come to save the day. Oh, God. This game is looking ugly all of a sudden. Shit. All this stuff is at 3 health, which is awkward. I'd love to Starfall and swipe, but I'm 1 mana short of being able to do that. Crap. He's going to hit me for 7, 9, 10. That's really bad. 12. I'm just going to get raced out all of a sudden here. I don't even know how this happened. I felt like I was, you know, doing fine, and then all of a sudden, here we are. So, maybe what I have to do is play ultra conservatively and use this as a single target card. You know what? I think we're going to have to do the Mad Bomber here. Let's see what this does before we choose how to use our removal. Okay, so now swipe will kill that, but does that matter? Nope. Okay, we're gonna do swipe here. And then let's armor up. If I had hit this earlier with my hero ability, I could finish it off now, but because I didn't, I will suffer the consequences. We're gonna go ahead and kill off his biggest creature. Bemoan the fact that I'm not able to kill this. Pass the turn. So my Mad Bomber's going to die. Now my opponent... I have 16 health, which is a very healthy life total, and my opponent doesn't really have that much damage creature-wise. So it's all about what he has in his hand. Because if he has chumpy stuff, a Starfall will get me right back in the game. Eagle Horn Bow, honestly not the worst thing. So it's like 6 damage, basically, he's going to get to deal to me. Sven Jaime. Oh, no, that's not good. Ah, oh, God. Ah, oh, man. This is no good. I have nothing useful to panda back. Well, I don't have my silence. Let's go ahead and Starfall. We need to armor up here. I think I just lose, though. I'm pretty sure I just lose this game. Ah, Jesus. You know, I must have made a mistake. I had to have messed this up somewhere. That Demolisher stuck around for a long time. I guess it was not killing the Demolisher or hitting the Demolisher when I had the chance. Or maybe it was the swipe I used against the Warden. I don't know. I'll have to go over this game tape and see. Because now my opponent wins. This is 6 plus 3 is 9, 10, 11 damage. Well, that was kind of... Oh, man. This is one of those games that makes me wish I was, like, back in the olden days when I wasn't posting all my runs. I could be like, yep, I screwed up terribly. Let's just not go ahead and post that one. Nobody needs to see that one. Oh, that was a weird grinder of a game. You know, I made lots of little misplays. I'm not sure if any one of them would have made the difference, but mulliganing the Azure Drake, that was one questionable play. Throwing away Moonfire instead of throwing away the coin, that was another questionable play. Not hitting the Demolisher was a questionable play. Yeah, I guess lots of little iffy plays here that all combine to make me lose. Infast the Druid looks like if he's got the same record as I do, we're both, you know, hanging on for our arena lives here. I would, given that I have two drops, I would keep Starfire under or a 6-mana card under some circumstances, but not Starfire. It's not quite good enough to warrant keeping. Okay, well, this is tricky. I could play Panda on my second turn. Oh, jeez, I have all my 2 drops. I don't have that many 2 drops in this deck, but I drew all of them. Probably gonna play the Pint-Sized Summoner. Oh my god, Innervate, are you kidding me? What is it? What is it? Raging Worgen. Okay. Well, that demands a very particular card, which is the Panda. Reason being, the Panda trades with the Worgen. The Mad Bomber could have enraged it. That wouldn't have been good. The Ironbeak Owl could have silenced it, but then it would have just died to hero ability, and the Pint-Sized Summoner would have just died. So this is the only card I had. It's quite good that I had my whole, like, menu of 2 drops. Mark of Nature. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. God damn it. For the love of Christ. Man. These games. Well, I need to silence that. I obviously don't want to get hit for 8 damage a turn by that stupid shit. So I'd say that I'm solidly behind here. The card that my opponent spent innervating is more than compensated by the fact that he can now just kill this, and he's hitting me for pretty good damage. Oh, my opponent made a horrible mistake. Oh god, well, I will profit from that mistake. Kodo does not kill the Worgen, but you have to kill your opponent's creatures under circumstances like this. Even if I didn't have a Dark Iron Dwarf, I could have had a Shattered Sun Cleric, I could have had a Direwolf Alpha, a Raid Leader. When there's a 2-power creature and you've got a 3 toughness creature, you need to kill it if you can kill it for free. That's just card advantage and good sense. Killing a creature is way more valuable than dealing 2 damage to your opponent. That is a pretty, what we say, loose swipe. Swipe is such a good spell that using it on that creature kind of bespeaks of desperation. Well, let's go ahead and make a combo play. We're going to play Acolyte of Pain, and we're going to play Mad Bomber. How about this pro play, huh? If the Mad Bomber hits this, I get to draw a card. Or my Mad Bomber can just hit my opponent 3 times. Okay. I think my opponent realizes what a good play that was, even if it didn't turn out well. Well, we'll take the credit. So we've got 5 cards to 5 cards. That was a wet and wild opening. But thanks to the Owl, I did pass on 2 of them in the draft. I took a 3rd one, and that probably saved me the game. Okay, well, this is very nice. I really don't like this card, actually, the Dragonlance mechanic. Under very rare circumstances is it ever good. Here, it's particularly bad. We can do this and draw a card. And then we can play this. And then we're going to go ahead and swing. Well, I'd say I won the mid-game. My opponent won the opening, I won the mid-game, and now we're going to the late game. I've got 7 cards to his 5, which is pretty good. Plus I have all the creatures on the board. Wild Growth is... Actually, I'm really excited to see that. I don't care about that very much. And if he does play an Ironbark Protector next turn, I will not mind playing Cult Master and just running everything in for cards. Wrath. Alright. Interesting choice. I would have considered wrathing this. Oh no, he's going to hero ability that. Fair enough, fair enough. That was a good play. So I'm going to get to draw another card. Moonfire. I don't know if that was a good play. I mean, if you got the hero ability, you might as well use your hero ability to kill that creature and save your Moonfire for later. Yeah, I think his opponent seems to be way too scared of taking damage to the face. You have to respect your life total, but not like to the point where you just refuse to ever take any damage whatsoever. He might have actually won this game if he had killed my Ironbeak Owl. That made such a huge difference to the flow of the game. Alright, that is something I'm not too bothered by. Because actually, thanks to this handy-dandy spell damage, swipe seems really good right here. Do we want to put more stuff on the board? Sure, I'll put one more creature on. Alright, so my opponent I believe is dead next turn. 4, 8, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 damage here. Force of Nature. This spell, I lost to it in a recent arena, but this is a spell I'm not actually as big a fan of as I used to be. I used to think, oh, this is so great, but it's just too often that it doesn't, they don't, like, distribute up enough in enough good ways. Like, if it were, like, maybe, like, 6 1/1s or something, that would be better, but as it is, I just have too much trouble getting use out of it. Okay, can I win now that my Azure Drake died? Let's go ahead and take a quick count. We got 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm 1 damage short. Bah. Alright, we're going to do this, this, that, and that. Well, my opponent's going to have some pretty epic stuff here to hang on. I don't even know what would do it. Even an Ironbark Protector will just not quite do the work. Ancient of War? Well, it's about as big as they come. But you know what they say? The bigger they are, the more cards I draw when I play Cult Master and run all my creatures into them. Starfire would actually win, but we'll settle for this. Let's do... I think this is fine. Not quite enough mana for that at this juncture. 2 + 3 is 5. I need to deal 7. I guess I could Moonfire it. That actually makes a lot of sense. We're going to do this. Do that. Moonfire. Break it down. I probably made that more complicated than it needed to be, but whatever. The point is, we win! Yay! Above average! Yay! 4 and 2! Yay! So this deck has been performing pretty well. I'd say it's solid. I am fairly certain that the game I lost against the Hunter was to my own play errors, and the other game I lost was bugs. My game hung, and my opponent's turn wouldn't end, and then my opponent suddenly came back and started playing cards, and I was like, I'm dead. So, yeah, we'll see how far we can go. I'd be pretty happy to get to 5 wins, honestly, given that I made one mistake and threw away a game, or not one mistake, I made a series of mistakes and threw away a game, and had lost a game for technical difficulties. But obviously, 6 or 7 would be even more fantastic with our Druid here. I also completed the daily quest, so it was nice to get that out of the way. Sakiris the Hunter. Man, Hunters do so well against me. I feel embarrassed how bad I am when I play Hunter myself, given how well Hunters do against me. Defender of Argus. There you are. Well, I can't keep this. It's just too unlikely I'll draw anything to buff. And Starfall is... So it's between Starfall or Swipe. I think Swipe is a little bit of a safer keep. It's cheaper. Hunters do play with a lot of weak stuff, like Wind Fury Hawks and that Timberwolf thing. So we'll just keep the Swipe around. Imp Master is really good to see. That's nice. Holds up well against Deadly Shot and Multi-Shot, the 2 primary Hunter removal cards you have to worry about. Young Priest, I don't know how I feel about this play. I mean, you could say it's a tempo play. Like, if I had a 2-drop, I would like, oh, here we go. I'm, like, hero abilitying instead of, you know, playing my creature. But, but it is card disadvantage. Now, with that having been said, I might actually do this and use my Moonfire instead. I think putting a 3-2 on the board is important for tempo reasons. So now my opponent can play something. I can play the Imp Master, then I've got the Dark Iron Dwarf. Hopefully we'll have something to buff. That's just the worst thing, is if you have a Dark Iron Dwarf and nothing to buff, that's when it's really bad. Well, my opponent's just throwing everything into the meat grinder here. I will absolutely kill off your Buzzard with my 2-drop, no problem. It's possible that he had no Beast and he was just really happy that I did it, but whatever. It's fine by me. So, Scarlet Crusader was tempting there, but I wanted the Imp Master to be here in the event of something getting killed and me needing something else to get buffed by Dark Iron Dwarf. Alright, he's going to fling a knife, it looks like. The starting Buzzard number 2. Well, I get lucky, the knife misses my creatures. What's interesting is that actually Dark Iron Dwarf doesn't quite get the job done here. I can kill one of the creatures, but not the other. Who's more threatening, the Buzzard or the thing that flings out. Like, I guess the buzzard is more threatening. It has more potential. I could swipe and kill them both that way. I'm going to be greedy, though. I'm going to put 4/4 on the board, get some board presence down. I'm going to ignore the Knife Juggler for now. And we're going to get another Imp here. So if the Knife Juggler kills my Imp Master, the idea then is that if my opponent plays a creature that swipe will kill, I'll swipe it and finish the Knife Juggler off. Well, that's not exactly what I was hoping for. That was potentially a good fling. My opponent's going to trade. Alright, that was a good play. I really can't hold it against him, because my board does not really hold up against his board. Okay, well there's no reason running into this guy. So I think what we'll do is just play our creatures out. Now it's unfortunate, of course, that this guy will get to palm my Divine Shield. That's a very good way to get rid of the Divine Shield, but all things considered, it could be worse. You know what would be really funny? An Explosive Trap. That would just kill everything I have. Mad Bomber. Oh, that's really good on this board. Okay, well, he popped the Divine Shield and he dealt a critical damage to the Pint-Sized Summoner. Oh, jeez. Well, that guy's starting to be a bit of a menace. What is he going to kill, I wonder? Probably the Imp Master is what I would do. Oh, the Pint-Sized Summoner. He really respects that, huh? Well, I'm not going to complain. Stampeding Kodo. Oh my god, Stampeding Kodo. Oh jeez. That's just too good. That is too good. Alright, we're gonna take it easy here. We're gonna trade off stuff. Okay, that was back-breaking. I could have held on there, but like I'm now like at 5 cards to 3. Like I'm kind of and this is like Imps and a half-dead Imp Master, so like I'm not really that ahead on cards. So the fact that I was able to play a creature and have him kill an opponent's creature that had been buffed was really good. Okay, well here I think the choice is very clear. We're going to swipe this. I could Starfire it, I guess. Hang on. You know what? Maybe it's worth it just to Starfire here, keep the swipe. Then what I could do is... Oh, I don't have enough mana. I don't have enough mana hero ability. Well, I could throw away the Imp on that. Kill that. Draw a card. Yeah, we'll keep the swipe around. I think it's important to keep it around here. Because I do need some cards to press my advantage. Alright, we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. That's turn. So the Imp Master is going to cough out one more Imp and then die. Multi-Shot does not quite kill both of these. Deadly Shot isn't great here either. Freezing Trap's not great. I can trigger it with that. That's actually a pretty good card. It enables my opponent to fill up the board with a lot of stuff, and it holds it pretty well against my stuff too. Alright, well here I think what I'm going to do, I could play the Sunwalker. What I think I'd rather do though, well, hang on a minute. I think I need to play my Sunwalker here, don't I? Yeah, we're going to do this. And then I'm not going to play the Mad Bomber. We're just going to do this. I have a pretty high life total. Going to finish off the Squire. And we're going to swing by. Yeah, the Sunwalker, so what I could have done, I could have swiped and then finished off the creature. But the problem with that is then the only creature I could play is the Mad Bomber, which I don't really want to play right now. So putting this on the board, like, yes, my opponent could have a Silence, and that would be really good. Or he could have that thing, and that could be really good. But it's important to have board presence, you know? Ah, legendaries. So he's going to pop the Divine Shield, potentially. Interesting choice. It would die, but then it means if Ragnaros hits it, it would get killed. Okay, well, I've lucked out a little bit here, I would say. Getting hit in the face instead of having my creatures die. So we're going to swipe. Let me make sure I do this. Yeah, we're going to swipe that. Then we're going to pop the Divine Shield to finish it off. This now enables us to do this trade here. My Sunwalker technically is holding the fort, but I don't want to take any risk. Let's just put another Taunter down against Charge. Hunters do have lots of chargey stuff. He's 18 turns away from being able to steady shot me, so that's not really a concern, and he's just got 2 cards. So pretty much all I need to worry about is what he's got is for cards, because my stuff is currently owning the hell out of his stuff. Secret Keeper. Okay. I don't think I even care enough about that to do anything about it. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do this, and I'm actually going to play this and not kill his stuff. I'm just going to keep on swinging. We're going to go for the gold. Go for the glory. I just want to fly. Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. Okay, what is my opponent top decked? He is in full-on top deck mode. His board is owned by mine. My cards suck. I mean, the Owl could be nice, I guess, if he plays Taunt, but other than that, it pretty much sucks. Alright, he's going to throw away the Panther to buff up his Hyena, and then he's going to finish off my Taunter. Taunty McTaunterson. Do I need to worry about this hyena? No, not really. Let's just go ahead and do this. This. Silence. This. Attack. And then now, Swipe does still have the capacity to damage the opponent, so unless my opponent plays some kind of really big taunt, which hunters don't exactly have, you need like a Sunwalker, I guess. Swipe plus Hero Boot is going to finish him off pretty soon. Alright, that's not going to do it, folks, and that is going to be the game. Alright, well, we get Vengeance against the for the first hunter against the second hunter. My opponent is waiting to see if I notice that I can win. I can. I'm not going to be a douchebag and play my other cards. Well played! Alright, good game, Mr. Hunter. We're up to 5 wins. It's a pretty good place to be. We're in the top quartile of arena entrants. Let's see if we can push our luck and get up to 6. Every extra win here is bonus. Although I wonder what would have happened if I'd been able to finish my first game. I don't know that I would have won it. It was against a priest. I had a board advantage, but like a Holy Nova would have finished me off. So maybe he did in fact have the Holy Nova and then played a bunch of good creatures and won. Hard to say. I'm happy that I got back to the game in time to emote sorry before promptly losing. Okay, we're up against another priest. Copy the priest. This is a different one than the one I played before. This all looks fine so far. What was my next card? That is all fan-fiddly-tastic. Let's keep this. So we got removal, stuff. Shadow Word Pain will obviously kill everything I have here. But I do actually have, we've seen in previous games, I do have a lot of 4-power creatures here, so they'll be coming up, I'm sure. And then we'll be able to maybe hold our own against this priest. Okay, well, one perennial question is, do I coin out the Pint-Sized Summoner on turn 1? The answer actually I think is yes. On turn 2 I could play a Wolf Rider or an Imp Master. I think that's worth it. I mean, obviously Shadow Word Pain or a Holy Smite would kill the Pint-Sized Summoner, so priests are pretty good at killing them, but it's worth a shot. It's worth a try. I have gotten the Pint-Sized Summoner to live. We've seen it on this channel. Miracles do happen. Does my opponent have a turn 1 play is the question. Ah, he does. Light Warden! Oh, God. Hate that card so much. It's such a bad card. Well, we're going to do this for sure now, so I'm threatening to kill his Light Warden here with my humble 2/2 for 2. He could do the trick which I have resorted to in the past, which is you attack your opponent and heal your opponent, so that this becomes a 3/2. Then I still get to use my Pint-Sized Summoner and kill it. God, the 2 toughness is a problem. I don't know if the card would be like broken or something that had more than 2 toughness, but it's just not very good in its current state. That is for sure. Inner Fire. Alright, whatever. So, you do that. Well, sadly, because the Pint-Sized Summoner died, I have nothing to do on my turn. Luckily, next turn I'll be able to play Wolf Rider and kill this thing off with its assemblage of buffs. The Power Word Shield drew a card, so that doesn't count. But and also, it got to kill one of my creatures, so I'll just be catching up, I guess, after I kill it. Oh no! My opponent's a priest and he can heal. I forgot about that. Ah, fuck. Oh my god, am I seriously going to lose to a goddamn Light Warden? That will be... there will just be no end to my shame. There will be none. The number of endings to my shame will be 0 if I lose to this. Fuck. Well, what I'm going to do here, I think, is play an Imp Master. I really wish I had a coin so I could swipe this and end the tyranny, but we're going to play an Imp Master here. So he can kill the Imp Master, of course, but I do get this little Imp, which will kill off his Elven Archer. The Elven Archer just wasted itself, dealing damage to me. I don't think that's ever correct. Unless, of course, you're actually killing your opponent with it. Man, this Light Warden, I cannot believe it! Power Word Shield, Inner Fire on turn 2 on a turn 1 Light Warden. And it actually is good. Well, whatever, man. Swipe's about to come in to save the day here. So that'll be nice. Unless, of course, my opponent has, like, a Divine Spirit to double its health, and he's just going to go the distance with that shit. If he does, then whatever. Whatever. 2 mana? My opponent makes a critical mistake of leaving my creature alive. You really should always just kill your opponent's creatures, unless you have a very good reason not to. Okay, Stampeding Coda, that'll be nice, but Swipe is pretty good. And actually, I only got hit by that thing once, so I'm not even doing that badly on health. It's 27 to 23, seems totally fine. So now, we've got a whole assemblage of really good cards, with 2 of which have 4 attack. That is lovely to see. If my opponent plays like a Gurubashi Berserker, it's probably pretty much just game over after I play the Kodo. We'll see what she's got, or what he's got. Jungle Panther, well, unfortunately that will not die to the Kodo. Nor can I kill it right now with Dark and Worth because of stealth. So what I think I'm going to do instead is play Chillwind Yeti, which is just my best card. It doesn't die to Shadow Words, and it holds up against this Panther. Also, if this... Actually, I don't really want to put Defender of Argus on this, do I? Then it'll die to Shadow Word Death. Well, maybe I'll do it anyway. We'll see. What I really want to put Defender of Argus on is this thing, because then it'll go up to 4. We'll see. So hopefully my opponent plays something that's worth that'll die to a Kodo. That would be nice. Demolisher! Hey, look at that. Ask, and it sometimes will happen. Flesh-Eating Ghoul. Looks like that's going to get pumped, though. Yeah, he's going to kill my demon, so the Flesh-Eating Ghoul becomes 3/3. But it's all good, man. What is it all? Good. Alright, we could play Sunwalker to hold the fort, but I think it's more important just to kill this while the killing is good. So, Kabdoosh. And then I'm going to kill the... that was a mistake. I should have killed the Flesh-Eating Ghoul before I got pumped. Now I took an extra point of damage for no reason. Luckily, against Priests, the difference between 2 health and 1 doesn't matter, but I, still should have not made that mistake. So, yeah, the Panther can trade against the Yeti. It can also run into the Stampeding Kodo and die, unless there's a buff here, a Shattered Sun Cleric or something of those lines. I was just so excited to play the Stampeding Kodo that I forgot about, how to play well. What do we got here? 5 cards to 7. This is a good card. I don't think it's quite as good of a card as he needs to come back, though. So I'm pretty happy to see that. Blade Master. Interesting. Well, I think I'm going to kill it before he can heal it up. Like, if he plays a Holy Nova or whatever, and this gets actually a decent amount of health, that would be a little bit scary. So I'm probably going to trade my Kodo in for it. The correct play is to kill my Yeti. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my god, I don't know what my opponent's doing. I just don't know what my opponent did there. So you need to kill the Yeti. As emotionally unappealing as that is, you have to kill it, because now I have an extra creature on the board to do stuff with. So I'm going to do this with my 3/1, which conveniently had just enough power to kill that creature. We're going to play a Sunwalker. And we're going to do the Yeti, swinging 4 damage. So really, my opponent... I don't know what he was doing. I mean, I guess if he had hit the Yeti, my Kodo would have killed that and survived at 1 health. Then I'd have a 3/1 instead of a 4/1. And I would have dealt 4 less damage to the face. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. So yeah, some questionable plays by this Priest here, even though we're at 5 wins. Leaving my Imp alive and killing the wrong creature. Or, sorry, not killing the creature when he had the chance to. So these Divine Shields square off pretty nicely against each other, I would say. Another injured Blade Master joins the scene. If it gets healed up to 5, that will actually be a little bit tricky for me to kill, except, of course, that I have Dark-Eyed Dwarf, which is the greatest card ever. Alright. Let's take a look here. He's going to pop the Divine Shield. Very fair play. And 3 mana left over. What do we got for that 3 mana? Okay, Cult Master. I can actually play them both. Well, that seems good. So we're going to play this. Play that. Play the Cult Master. Kill this. Draw a card. And do I keep this creature alive, or do I kill it? If I kill it, Holy Nova will kill my Sunwalker and my Cult Master. So we're going to go ahead and leave it alone. I have a suspicion my opponent has Holy Nova, so he's going to do this anyway. He's going to attack into me, and then he's going to Holy Nova finish me off. I have the 4-power army here, so no, any Shadow Words that he has in his hand are just completely dead cards for the time being. He's going to Power Word Shield and draw a card. Well, I should have killed it, given that he had a Power Word Shield. Maybe I should have thought about that. He played with 1, he might have another. So if he has another Inner Fire combo, I will really regret not killing this when I had the chance. Luckily, all he's really going to do if he spends his turn buffing this up is, yeah, I got a Taunter here, thanks, is let me play Wolf Rider and throw some stuff into it for cards. It's going to give it Taunt? I don't think that's actually relevant. I'm guessing that's just because he has it and feels like he should use it. There's another inner fire. Well, folks, you saw it here. Kill your opponent's creatures when you have the chance. I thought this would be good enough. I thought he had Holy Nova. That was not what he had. So I'm going to pay the price. Luckily, I'm going to draw a ton of cards while paying that price. Now, do I use Moonfire or Hero Ability to kill this? I think I'm actually going to use Moonfire because I'd like to actually preserve my mana. So we're going to Moonfire here. I'm going to run in my guy and draw a card. God, Cult Master is just so insane. I don't really want to play Defender of Argus, because then Shadow Word Death will kill them. So what we'll do instead is we'll just spend a big chunk of our mana playing a Fen Creeper. Pass the turn. Well, now my opponent is in serious ass trouble. He's got 2 cards and no board to a dominating board and 5 cards. So I don't even know what my opponent could use to win. I guess Mind Control? Mind Control. But that wouldn't even win, is the thing. What do you Mind Control here? If you Mind Control this, I'll just run stuff in and kill it, and take cards and kill it. And if you Mind Control this, it's just weak. Okay, can I win here? Yeah, I think, well, can I? Let's think. I can do 4, 8, 11, yeah. Done indeed. Well, we got up to 6 wins after making mistakes and getting disconnected, so that's cool. And I hate to kind of preach to the choir or beat a dead horse or whatever it is I'm doing when I say this, but I just see so often I see threads on Reddit or the Blizzard forums that are like exactly the same thing. It's like it's sort of like, I'm pretty good at the game, but in the arena I always lose. Does anybody else think that the arena is just too luck dependent? Because I do. And I don't know. I don't know how someone could really think that. If you go to YouTube, if you go to Twitch, and you see Trump and Kriparian and Hafu and me playing games and making mistakes and still getting up to like 6 wins routinely, you got to figure if you're only getting up to 3 or 4, you're doing something wrong. So I think that there's a lot of people playing Hearthstone, which is by the way true of any game. There's people. These people exist for any game. I'm gonna keep that. There's people who, for any game, who like think that they lose for like any reason other than it's their own fault. And then so what's interesting about Hearthstone is that there seems to me to be like empirical proof that no, if you're losing, it's because you're bad. But people just still don't want to believe. Okay, so the Pint-Sized Summoner actually has a decent shot at living against a Paladin. What does the Paladin even have that would kill this on turn 2? I think it's the Charging Merfolk or Bust. So the reason I did this is that next turn I can play a Wolf Rider, and then if he plays any recruits, the Pint-Sized Summoner can protect the Wolf Rider from those recruits. The Wolf Rider, to be fair, is not the best card I could play here on turn 3, or on turn 2. I could also play, I could play Defender of Argus. No, we're going to play Wolf Rider. The reason I'm playing Wolf Rider is that on turn 3, my opponent still doesn't really have any way of dealing damage to this. Paladins don't have any 1 damage dealing spells. He's 1 turn away from Consecration and from True Silver Champion and from Hammer of Wrath. It's like somebody decided all the good Paladin spells should be 4 mana. And he went first, so he doesn't have a coin. So next turn I'll actually be able to play Defender of Argus. Now these guys will still both die to Consecration, but at least they will not die to recruits, is the thing I'm going for here. Yeah, if my opponent has Consecration, that would be really good for him. For this reason, I am going to use the Pint-Sized Summoner to kill the recruit, not only because you don't want to let paladins keep creatures around, but because it's important, if this is going to die to Consecration, then I get you some use out of it. Now, I could also play the Worgen here. That doesn't seem to be worth it. It's just, well, if I play the Worgen, it does survive against Consecration. I can kill the recruit, run in with the Wolf Rider. Nah, we'll just do it this way. My instincts tell me this is the right move. So we're going to do this. We're going to do that. So now he plays Consecration. These 2 cards die. But this lives. And that was his whole turn. So next turn I can play the Kodo. Oh no, I can't! My Pint-Sized Summoner will be dead! Ah, shit. I was thinking I could play the Kodo and kill this thing. But I can't. I'm always 1 turn away from playing a Kodo. How sad. Oh my gosh, it's my lucky day. My opponent does not have a Consecration. Or at least he doesn't have it in his hand. True Silver Champion is also good, but it's not as good as a Consecration would have been. That, though, okay, that... We've done that, haven't we, folks, on this channel? That's good. That is very solid here. Well, that just caught my opponent back up. So I'd say that I won the opening, but my opponent caught right back up in the mid-game. Okay, in lieu of playing the Worgen and running it into the True Silver Meat Grinder, let's go ahead and... Oh, no, wait, sorry. What am I talking about? Let's play the Worgen. I was thinking I could play Claw and kill that thing, and then keep my guy around. Maybe... Wait, that would have been better. What am I doing? I could have kept the Defender of Argus on the board, had him get killed. I guess it's the same thing either way. I don't know. Alright, anyway, I might have made a mistake there, so let's go ahead and watch my Worgen die. But luckily, we do have Stampeding Kodo here. So this will be pretty nice. I can go Kadoink. The Golem respawns, however. And it also flings a knife, which is kind of annoying. But I do have Claw to finish this off, and I have Starfall, which is really, really good here. Unless, of course, my opponent plays like a Sunwalker or something, then I'll be sad. But he's been playing pretty passively here, so yeah. So maybe Starfall next turn. We'll see if he decides to trade into my Kodo or not. Oh my god, both knife flings went into the Kodo, and that allowed Hammer of Wrath to kill it. Ugh, that sucks. That sucks. Great big slags hacks of Donkey Balls. Okay, I could use Hero ability to kill this, but the problem is, what am I playing then? The Cult Master? Nah, it's just Starfall. And that's it for my turn. It wasn't a good Starfall. All I killed was a damaged Golem and a Knife Juggler and a Recruit, so my opponent actually has card advantage against me. He's first to play. Shit, well, this game went bad in a hurry, I have to say. I had a pretty decent start. My opponent didn't have Consecration, but True Silver Champion got him back into it. Maybe I should have used Claw to kill his thing when I had the chance. Well, what we're going to do here, I think, is this. We're going to play the Ironbeak Owl, silence that, going to do this, and we're going to do this. So his Recruit can pop the Divine Shield, but I'm guessing the Recruit would much rather kill the Ironbeak Owl. And then, with luck, we'll have the Cult Master next turn, maybe get a card. We'll see. This is actually an awkward hand. I'd really like to have like my Sunwalker or my Ogres or my Tiger, something big. This is actually kind of weak, and I don't have anything to run in with the Cult Master, so the Cult Master has been a beast in the past, but not here. Ah, my opponent's going to return the favor. Well, touche, sir, touche. Dread Corsair. Okay. Sunwalker, well, yeah, I think that's worth it. I think that's definitely worth it. We'll leave the Owl alone here. I'll use this even though I'm not going to attack with it. I'll use it for the... Although, you know what? Don't let Paladins keep creatures. This could get really ugly if he has, like, Blessing of whatever. But he's got 2 creatures. I can't get rid of them both. You know what? Let's just do this. I was thinking to hold on to that Owl and try to play the Cult Master later, get a card off of it, but I think it was too risky. I think if he buffs 1 creature, well, I've got a Divine Shield, so he can run into me and whatever, but if he had 2 creatures, he could throw 1 into the Divine Shield, use the other to kill my Sunwalker, and I'd be in trouble. Spellbreaker is incredibly good against Sunwalker. However, the Sunwalker's stats actually would allow him to trade with both Spellbreakers, unless with the remaining 5 mana, my opponent has some kind of buffage. He does. Well, that's fine. That's 2 cards for 1. I'm okay with that. Although I really wish I could have kept this around, so I could have used Cult Master. So even though it's card disadvantage for my opponent, he still gets out ahead, I think. Okay, now I can play the Cult Master here, but I'd rather keep that as a surprise. Let's go ahead and just ping off this Recruit. I really want to keep my opponent's board as clear of creatures as I can, so that if I start the turn with like this in play, I can Starfire something of his, and then like maybe kill this with my Fen Creeper or whatever. Alright, my opponent keeps playing Reinforcements. That's good. That means his cards do not provide him 10 mana. If late in the game your opponent's playing this many Recruits, it might mean that he just doesn't... He only has like buffs or something, and he can't like actually play real cards. So you can see this. Yeah, my opponent had nothing to do with 7 mana. Now I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna play my Cult Master down. And the reason for that is I don't want to waste my turn doing absolutely nothing. So this thing does hit for 4 damage, and Paladins don't have the easiest time killing it. They'd need a Hammer of Wrath or a True Silver Champion. Or a Consecration, I guess. Alright, I'm pretty happy to see that. I don't really care about that guy. Pretty happy to see that. Don't really care about that. What has he got for 5 mana? It seems like my opponent's holding on to a bunch of buffs. I really can't imagine why he'd be playing the way he's playing if it weren't for the buffs. So let's take a look. I could run this into that, get a card. Use Hero ability to finish it off. But then this Recruit's here. I really don't want to keep that Recruit there. What I think I'll do then, I could also swipe and just kill both of them that way. That actually seems good. Let's swipe here, like this. Let's play this then, Hero ability. And so what I'm doing here is I'm actually just trying to, you know, get some good old-fashioned damage going. Now, Consecration would be really great. It would kill both of my guys. But I think they, well, this guy didn't really do his job, but this guy did his job. It got to swing for 4 damage a couple of times. Got a reinforcement and a secret. It's probably Noble Sacrifice, because you can safely assume all secrets are. Let's go ahead and flush out the Noble Sacrifice. Ah, look, it's Noble Sacrifice. Alright, so now then, I get to do that. Draw a card. Let's go ahead and put this down. He survives against Consecration. Swing for 6. Get some good damage on. 5 damage. Not quite enough. So we're going to do this. Keep his creatures off the board. It's really clear he's had, like, Blessing of Kings or Give a Minion a Divine Shield or something or other back here, because he's been holding on to some cards for a really long time. Yeah, you could tell this opponent had a bad hand, because he 2-for-1'd himself against me twice. There were 2 occasions when he put Blessing of Might on a creature, and then ran into one of my creatures dying. That's his creature plus the buff, so that's 2 cards for 1. Alright, my opponent is trying to go the distance here, but unfortunately it's just not going to happen. Equality was the other card he was holding. That makes sense. Equality is not really great if you have no creatures on the board and if you don't have your Consecration. So, either I got lucky and my opponent never saw Consecration in the draft, or I got lucky and my opponent never drew his Consecration. There were at least 2 times in that game when it would have been really good. Although the one time when it would have been really good, he played a True Silver Champion, which was also really good. And then he had just terrible turns in the endgame and didn't do anything. So, that was a good game. We made it to 7 wins. Oh man, I'm so excited. So excited to be here. I feel like I'm coming up and like giving a thank you speech for an Oscar. I'm so excited to be here. I want to thank myself for being like freaking awesome and really good at Hearthstone. I think without that, I wouldn't have been able to make it. Asura Strike the Priest. Well, those need to go. The question is, does the Dark Iron Dwarf go? Because if I don't draw any creatures, this will be terrible. But if I do draw creatures, it'll be amazing. We'll keep them. Go for the gold. Go for the glory. Go for it. Connect 4. All right. Well, we got a 3-drop. Maybe this is not my favorite card to see. Remember that one game when I had like all the 2-drops, like Pint-Sized Summoner, Owl, Panda, Mad Bomber? I was like, which of these is appropriate under these circumstances? I had like my menu to choose from. Not this game. Okay, we're gonna hero up and swing. So I'm really curious to see what my opponent does here. This will affect whether the game goes very well or very badly. If he just heals himself, the game might go well. If he plays a good creature or coins out something good, it'll go very badly. Oh, fuck, he's got a card. Lightwell. Well, to be honest, I'm not exactly sure how much of that I am afraid. I mean, if he has Inner Fire, that'll become a menace. But at the moment, yeah, whatever. I'll run with it. So, the Lightwell's actually not relevant yet, without help, basically. This guy, the Northshire Cleric, can run in, drawing me a card, then he can heal it to draw a card himself, but I will draw a card from getting hit. So he doesn't really want to do that. Shield Bearer. It's a very clever move, because now he can ignore my Acolyte of Pain. Okay, well, let's think about what to do here. I cannot quite give this guy enough damage to get past the Shield Bearer, sadly. I cannot play the Stampeding Kodo, which would kill his entire team. Defender of Argus doesn't quite get the job done, so Swipe is what I'm looking at. So if I swipe this, it'll deal 1 damage to the Northshire Cleric. The Northshire Cleric will not quite die, but I will get to draw a card off of it. He might, then he will actually, well, the Lightwell will either heal him, drawing no cards, or heal the Northshire Cleric, drawing a card. So he might get a card for free, basically, thanks to the Lightwell. This does put a 4/4 onto the board. You know, we're going to do that. We're going to do that because I think a creature on the board is really valuable here. So, we're going to pass the turn. He's going to get to draw a card. You know, oh fuck, I messed up. That was a mistake. I knew nothing else was damaged, so I knew this was going to get healed by the Lightwell and draw him a card, so I should have just left it alone. I screwed up. I gave my opponent an extra card for absolutely no reason. Well, that sucks. But, I might have to pay for that mistake later. We'll see. Inner Fire. Oh, fuck. He actually had it. Are you goddamn kidding me? Well, the good news is that Swipe will actually not finish that off because, yeah, it just got healed. Oh, my God. Mind Vision could be good here. We'll see. Oh, God damn it. This is insane. Okay, we're going to play the Kodo, I think. I mean, I could swipe this. And then finish. You know what? Maybe we need to swipe. Let's see. If I Kodo, let's think through our options. If I Kodo and this dies, this lives. I'm not gonna hit it. I'm not gonna make that mistake twice. And that's the end of that. And I have a 3/5 against a 5/3, and a 0/4 against a 3/3. If the Kodo kills this, I get to kill that guy, draw a card. That's really awesome. That's really, really awesome. If I swipe this goes down to 2 health, this goes down to 2 health, it goes down to 1. I could then kill this thing off, draw a card, but I didn't play a creature. So I guess we're going to go for the Kodo here. It's either a guaranteed thing of killing a stuff, but having 1 creature on the board, or a 50-50 shot of having 2 creatures on the board and killing a stuff. So we'll see. Alright, it killed the right card. That's great. We're going to draw a card, kill that thing. And we are back in this game. So my opponent still has 1 extra card compared to what he should. Oh, the Lightwall can heal itself? I did not know that. That makes the card a lot better than it even looks. This game could still go terribly. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh my god! The extra card I gave my opponent enabled him to play this a turn earlier. Fuck my life. Well, that was a bad mistake. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Defender of Argus puts these guys at 4 attack, which is not relevant enough for the Lightwell, unfortunately. Starfall... it's worth considering. It would just kill this. And then I've got 6 damage against that guy. Oh, man, that was a terrible mistake. Lordy, lordy, lordy. I could play the Azure Drake, Claw, and then I'd finish off the Lightwell at least, and draw a card. Is swipe any good? I could swipe this. That goes down to 4 health. They'd both be at 4 health. I would need swipe and Defender of Argus. The problem with doing Defender of Argus first is that my opponent could then damage my stuff and heal himself on his turn because he's a priest. Well, let's hedge my bets. I'm going to Defender of Argus. It's important that when this thing kills a creature, it gets left at 4 health. Because, that way Swipe will finish it off. We're going to go ahead and do this. Draw a card, see what I get. It Master, alright. And we're going to finish it off with the hero ability. Don't forget to attack with my creature. Going to pass the turn. I didn't want to leave that at 1 health because it was going to heal itself, so it was not going to stay at 1 health to die to swipe. Well, the worst thing that could happen here is my opponent attacks this and has time to heal. Then the swipe won't really finish it off. But yeah, that mistake, giving him an extra card, is single-handedly losing me the game here because this should have been still in his hand and it coming down a turn later. My opponent has a lot of cards, as do I, but he has the board presence here. Let's see if he decides to heal his guy up. That's the question. He's going to heal it up that way. That counts as healing, unfortunately, for my interests. Wolf Rider... Do I have a Cult Master? No, I don't have a Cult Master. Well, the best hope here I have is this. I could actually claw and use this to finish that guy up. You know what? I'm going to do that before I can get healed back up to 8. Wait, no! It's only 3 plus 2 is 5! I can kill that thing. Alright, we're going to have to do it. I don't want to leave his creatures alone. So we're going to do that. I actually took a lot of damage hitting his stuff here. But this actually holds up against his Mountain Giant reasonably well, which is cool. In 2 turns, I can Azure Drake and swipe in the same turn, but not yet. Oh, fuck my life. God damn it, another one of those. Well, at least that was almost half his mana to draw that card. I need my Cult Master to come on board here. Oasis Snapjaw. So he's clearly playing with... we saw 1 Inner Fire, so he's going for that Inner Fire combo. And I've already used my Kodo. This is actually a bit of a menace, unfortunately. Okay, Mad Bomber is unplayable here. I could play this, or I could try to kill this thing right now with that and swipe. Then I'll have 4 mana left over. What do I do with 4 mana? I think the answer is play Wolf Rider and kill his Northshire Cleric before my opponent can draw any more cards. Or do I hang in for a turn? Well, if I hang in, what is he going to do? Pop Divine Shield, kill my guy? Yeah, that's no good. Alright, we're going to do this. This sucks, but it has to be done. And we're going to stop him from getting heals. Alright, he has drawn a lot of cards. He's drawn actually just 2 more cards than I have. I guess it's not the end of the world. But he's got a lot of cards here, so he could very well have an Inner Fire. That would let him kill my Sunwalker. I think I still have an Owl in here, which could be good. Fen Creeper, okay. And he's going to heal that up, pump this guy up. Alright, fair enough. Oh, he's going to go for it, interesting. I guess it's because he's hiding behind Taunter. That makes sense. I cannot play Azure Drake and Starfall, so if I want to Starfall, I have to do it without playing the Azure Drake. This thing is about to get owned by the Fen Creeper. But it will go down to 2 health, but it could get healed, but he's already got 2 creatures that need healing. Maybe Starfall could finish things off. God, priests are a problem. Starfire does not quite kill this thing, rather tragically. Unless, of course, Mad Bomber helps me out a bit. Alright, I think we're doing the Mad Bomber. Well, hang on, I could play the Azure Drake. What are the odds of this living? Small. My opponent heals up, this becomes a 5-2, kills my Drake. Yeah, the odds are 0. So I really needed to have 10 mana this turn, and I didn't. Moonfire would be good, but I can't guarantee that. We're going to play the Mad Bomber here. When you're desperate, you're desperate. Well, what that accomplished was that now I can play Starfall and clear everything off. I guess that was a pretty good bomber. It hit the Snapjaw. That was the only thing that really mattered. Without the Snapjaw dying to Starfall, it wouldn't have been a good turn. So my opponent has 7 cards to my 5. I'm going to draw a 6th. But he has the play. Now, if he only plays like one thing and that thing dies to a Starfire, I will be in decent shape. If he plays that, I'm in less decent shape. Okay. Well, it's a bit sad, but I cannot play Azure Drake and Starfire in the same turn. So what I have to do here, I have no choice. I have to do this. And kill this off. I'm going to actually... Let's think. I'm actually going to use the Wolf Rider for that. So Alexstrasza only did 3 damage. To me, all things considered, it's not the end of the world. I spent 2 cards to kill it, but one of those cards was Starfire, so it was even. We're still... Same situation, actually. Same exact situation. Same exact. There's no change. I could use another Dark Iron Dwarf here. That would be nice. I've already used my Starfire, so no more of those. A Fen Creeper would be nice to stop my Mad Bomber from dying. And I can, in the worst case, play like an Azure Drake and a Stranglethorn Tiger and try to start racing my opponent down, I guess. My opponent wins the race. I only heal... Well, I heal 1 and I deal 1, he heals 2. I guess we're even on the race if we're racing down. Ironforge Rifleman to my face. Interesting choice. I guess he fancies his odds in a race. He is starting off with an 11 health advantage. Fen Creeper! Well, always draw cards first. The thing I want to play besides the Fen Creeper is the Azure Drake. So we're going to draw this first, just in case, to see. Indra Blade Master is nifty and all, but we're going to hold the fort here and swing for damage. So I really need this guy to stand his ground. Shadow Word Pain tragically does kill it. My opponent hasn't really played any of those yet. Mind Control is actually even worse. Yeah, well, I'm not sure what I could have really done at all to win this game against the Mind Control. So it looks like we're en route to another 7-win arena. These are not the cards that will save me. That is not the card that will save me either. Let's just go ahead and play a bunch of trash down here. My stuff does terribly against his stuff. He can deal 7 damage to me. I go down to 8 health. Who knows? He might have... He's 6 cards. Yeah, I lost the game when I attacked into his Shield Bearer and gave him a free card. It is as simple as that. Sometimes you make mistakes and you don't have to pay for it, and sometimes you make mistakes and you do pay for it. My opponent's taking it nice and slow, and he's absolutely correct to do so. I don't have any Iron Bark protectors or anything like that that could, like, hold the fort and help me catch back up. And I'm not a priest, so I don't have any mind control either. I don't think I can do anything here to win. Let's take a look at our card swipe. That would be good with spell power, but I've already used my Azure Drake. Well, let's go ahead and run this guy in, because you always want to draw cards first. Iron Beak Owl. I don't know if that really matters. Yeah, whatever, let's just concede. I don't think I can get out of this one. Alright, that was a good game against Asura Strike. So actually, both of the games I lost in this arena were to my own play mistakes, which is kind of encouraging and kind of discouraging. On the one hand, it's sad to make mistakes. But keep this in mind, if you ever get pissed at yourself for screwing up, if you do make mistakes, that means that you can get better in the future and lose less. If you are always losing to factors outside of your control, that's the true depression. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and or subscribe the video and or my channel. And if you just can't get enough of Papa Boris, let's begin Papa Boris's Happy Fun Time bonus hour. Last time I was at 7 wins, I got 150 gold, 5 dust, and a golden wisp. Blizzard, you owe me a better reward. Oh, hey, it's already better. Hey, look at that, 100. This is 200 gold. I believe that's a new high. I believe I've never gotten 200 gold, so ask and you shall receive. Let's Let's go ahead and take a look at the pack. At the moment, all I really care about are getting epics and legendaries. Arcane Golem's a good card. I think I got one yesterday, too. Yeah, we got a bunch of junk. Okay. I mean, the Flesh Eating Ghoul, it's a good card. Oh, no! That whole pack, folks, that whole pack was a duplicate. That's a bit sad. So this is what you get. If you have a pack that's all duplicate, you basically spent 100 gold to get 40 dust. Assuming it's, of course, an average pack with no above average number of rares and so forth. So that was a little bit sad. Let's take a look at our arena here, sneak peek. Our next arena is going to be for Rogue, Paladin, or Warlock. Well, these are all fine by me. The Warlock, not so much, but I haven't played with Warlock in a while, so I could do it. Whatever, man, I'll suck it up for the people. And I'll take a look to see who was my least recent class, and also when the daily quest resets, maybe I'll have a daily quest for one of these, and that will impact my decision as well. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I shall see you next time. Till then.